Good morning, or I suppose I should say hello. It may not be morning where you are, but here in East Tennessee, it is a lovely sunny day. And we are ready to look at some division equations in our one-step category. So let's go to the one-step section. I am not going to ask you to watch me flip through all of these. Let me just go to the next page and we'll take a look at some division equations. And I am going to tell you straight up that a lot of teachers do not teach you this way, and that's okay. There are lots of good ways to do this, but I have a reason for asking you to do the problems this way. And in the next video, you will see why I want you to follow this method. So rather than have you learn two different ways of solving this type of equation, we're just going to learn one way and it'll work every time. So on the first equation for this section, and it is morning, so bear with me please. Let's do A divided by 6 is 60. Okay. And this looks a little funny for a division problem. We're used to seeing them written in other ways, but for algebra, you want to use this fraction form. So A divided by 6 is 60. And I want you to go ahead and think of a ghost 1 sitting there. Ghost 1s can float in, float out whenever I need to see them, but they really don't change the value of the problem at all. Okay, over here on the solving frame, and I will tell you that your college professors are not going to know about a ghost 1. That is completely an Amanda term, so please don't use that in college. They will not know what you're talking about. Okay, when I write this problem over here, I am going to write it as a fraction and A. So 1/6 A is 60. And those are exactly the same equation. You can do this without changing the value of your problem at all. So A is variable, and 60 is not variable. 60 is constant. And we need to move that fraction. Remember, the inverse of a fraction is its reciprocal. And so I'm going to do 6 over 1 and 6 over 1. And you may be wondering why I'm multiplying. Why am I putting the parentheses in there to multiply? Well, remember that this is division. So we started off with a division equation, and that means the inverse of division is multiply. Okay, so these fractions cancel, leaving me with A. That's a very good sign. And then here, I'm just going to have you to put your 60 times 6 ABC1 equals, and I know the answer, but I'm going to see what your calculator gives you as the answer. I want to, yes, be sure that you're getting 360. Sometimes what's in my head and what's on your calculator screen do not look exactly the same, even though they mean the same thing. So I need to be checking that. And this is your solution to this equation. Okay, here's another one. Just slide the screen up. And let's do m divided by 2. Sorry. M divided by 2 equals 9. Okay, so let's put the ghost 1 in there. put the 1 in, you can take the 1 away. It can come and go as you need it to. And then when I write this in the frame, I'm going to say 1/2 m, and then the constant is 9. And this is variable. Okay, so to move this fraction, we need to do the inverse, or the reciprocal of the fraction. And if we do it to one side, we must do it to the other. Cancel. So we're left with m, and then this is 9 times 2abc 1. And you end up with 18. And I think I'll go to the next page for the next problem. This one is b divided by 65 equals 845. So let's put the ghost one in there. And then we come over to the solving frame and set up this problem. So I have 1/65 b and 845. 845 is constant. Variable is b. So to move that fraction, we need to do the reciprocal in parentheses and do that to both sides. Cancel. So you're left with b, and then whatever this product is, 845 times 65 ABC 1. And I have no idea what that is. I'm going to have to use my calculator for that. It's going to be 50,000, somewhere in that neighborhood, I do believe, but let me be sure. 845 times 65 ABC 1. Actually, it was a little bit low, estimated. It's 54,925. So I was a little off in my estimate, a little on the low side. Very large number, but you're dealing with large numbers. The 65 and the 845 are pretty big numbers, so not surprised here. Okay, another one. How about a negative this time? Negative 16 equals r over 4. So let's put the ghost one there and draw the solving frame. And this time our constant is first, and that's okay. We've seen this before. We've talked about it doesn't matter if constant or variable is first. Okay, so this is 1/4 r, and it is the 1/4 that we need to move. So let's put the reciprocal there and the reciprocal there and cancel. So I'm left with r on this side, and then 16 negative times, let me write this one, 16 negative times 4 ABC1, and that is negative 64. as the solution. Okay, one more of those. Let's do negative 100 equals x over negative 65. So we're going to put a 1x right there, and we're ready to solve. The 100 negative is the constant side. The 1 over negative 65x has the variable, and it is the fraction that we want to get rid of. So we're going to remember to take the sign. You don't want to leave anything behind on this side. So negative 65 over 1, and we cancel there. So we're left with 6,500 and x. So your solution is a positive 6,500. Okay, I'll see you in the next video for the fractions portion of this module, and once we finish with those, we're ready to move on to two-step equations.